Welcome to part 2 of this week's ESL tournament. Just as a reminder, I am doing my YouTube challenges to try and get to the top. So far, we've scraped by, we won 2-0, 2-1, and now we're playing against a top 16 European player. Let's do it. Our opponent is going to be MilkiCow and Data C, and the challenge I rolled them at random if you guys missed part 1. I'm going to be playing Sky Terran. Now, I did say in part 1, I will modify these challenges a little bit. Straight up Sky Terran would never be enough to be the player of this caliber. So I want to make it a little bit more realistic. My core strategy is 100% going to be Sky Terran and whatever challenge I roll for the next game. But for example, what I was thinking is maybe I could make a few tanks, so I don't just get absolutely A-moved by Marines. I noticed even playing against 5-6, 5-7 Terrans, I would usually just get rolled by Marines A-moving me. This is more like a 6.4 Terran, right? So I think I'm going to allow myself to make a few tanks. I'm definitely not going to make too many, because if I make 15 tanks, my army is almost going to be, a proper army. But maybe like 2 tanks per base or so. It's going to be hard to stick to the limits, but I will try to be reasonable about it. Now, I did pick this map for Sky Terran because I have a lot of space to maneuver. In particular, I really want to be using the speed banshees. Those have been my most effective tool, and even against our hardest Sky Terran opponent yet, I think we're gonna have to rely on them a little bit. Now, ideally, we get to Battlecruise at some point. I don't think we can really win a game like this without going to BCs in the end, but banshees can definitely push us in the right direction, so that is the plan. Now, it is pretty scary to survive early pushes. I'm gonna have to invest in an early starport, else I can't really get the timing right with the banshees. Does leave me open to some early devastating pushes. MilkiCow overall, if you guys don't know much about him, he is usually... How would I explain him? I feel like he's a really good late game player. I think he has good build orders and good late game. I would say in the mid game, he is usually not... I would say not special. He is good, but it's not where he shines. His builds are good. He has good early game tactics, and his late game is pretty insane. So that does pretty, match up pretty well against Sky Terran. It could be a very awesome late game coming our way. Now, obviously, since he's allowed to make Marines and whatnot, he's going to have the slight advantage there. So far, this game is 100% equal. We both scouted, we're both playing double gas, and we are both going to be transitioning after it. Now, what kind of build should I do here is what I'm wondering. Maybe going for a Hellions is not the worst idea, because that gives me a lot of gas. Maps with ramps, typically not that great for Hellions, though. Like, you can't run into the base without seeing what's on top of the ramp. Hellions have pretty low HP. If you run up, there's 10 Marines and a Cyclone chilling. You're probably going to lose 2 Hellions with a third one being bruised, right? So that is not ideal. I could go for a fast Cyclone ever. That's something I wasn't allowed to do in the normal Sky Terran 2 Grandmaster series, but here I am actually allowed to do that. Obviously, I'm trying to kind of form the rules as we go, while trying to be reasonable. I think I'm pretty good at being reasonable, so no worries. If I cross the line, I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments that I'm a silly goose, and then we know that for the next time, right? But I think a Cyclone is also going to go a long way towards selling to him that I'm playing normal. Though obviously, I think most people in these cups are aware these days that I'm playing a little bit like a memester, I guess you could say. Playing a little bit of weird strategies in these tournaments, and that's my purpose for playing them. So who knows? Maybe he's not a YouTube viewer, who knows, right? Maybe he just, doesn't live on the internet, also possible. But we'll see. Now I'm going to try to get a scout on with this Reaper. I think going for a second Cyclone could be nice to defend everything a little bit easier. Probably not going to see anything too crazy. Oh, he's playing... Ooh, where's that barracks going? Okay, for a second I thought he was flying into the corner of the map. I thought I was the one memeing. Now with a grenade I might be able to annoy him a little bit. Didn't really have much purpose besides that. But he is going for Hellions plus a Raven, which is actually a normal build, by the way. In TVT, I feel like very typically you could go for 6 Hellions plus 1 Raven, try to drop an auto turret in the main here, go at the front with 6 Hellions. And I'm going to try to counter it by just having a Cyclone in both locations. I think double Cyclone is probably pretty well equipped to handle this. Now, there's one potential danger. If he makes like more than 6 Hellions and attacks the front, that's when it's probably going to be a little bit rough. Now, what I'm doing here... Oh, okay, I was wondering what the hell is in my... I thought I heard a sound, but I thought I was going crazy. He's going to see my second starport. I did build it there as a mind game, by the way. So maybe it's not bad that he saw it. I'll explain to you guys what I wanted to do here. So this looks like a normal setup to go for a semi-all-in 2-starport tank push. But I'm actually going to use it to make Banshees instead. And that's something he might not expect. He might go for a second starport himself. That would be problematic. If he goes for any other way of dealing with this, we're probably going to be all right here. So I see there is Hellions in front of my base. This is pretty scary. I hope he doesn't go in. Let's see, how much is it? 6 Hellions, just like I expected. Maybe able to get one. There we go. That is nice. I haven't seen the Raven yet, actually. I thought the Raven would probably be showing up into my main base any second now. Or have I attacked it already? I don't think I have. Well, let's get a second or a third command center, rather. My build does look pretty good. I'm mostly worried about the fact that he could go for a second starport, completely shutting me down. Since my opponent is a high-level player, that is kind of what I expect. Mostly because... if you think about it, it's like very logical if I put it this way. The best counter to an all-in is to do the exact same thing, but with more workers, right? So what he can do is, because he has the defender's advantage, is do my build, but with a faster third command center. So second starport, faster third CC. And he will have the same amount of air once I arrive to his base. But just with more eco. And if he doesn't play that, if he's maybe going to go for a fast stim, we're going to be in a lot better of a position. That strategy, however, I'm not quite sure how I would deal with it. So notice how I'm making some siege tanks. That's the only difference between this and Sky Terran, really. And the double Cyclone, of course. Now I'm going to have 4 Banshees. What is 4 Banshees enough for? Oh, he's going to go for that counter. All right. Interesting. This looks like... oh, that's actually... if that's meant that... I think this is very cool. Like, I'm trying to explain it to you guys, but I'm also a bit fascinated myself. So, let me explain what's so weird about this, right? So, he went for a double tech lab. Double tech lab is very uncommon in TVT, mostly because tanks beat Marines anyway. So what he wants to do is, by getting combat shields and stim fast, if I attack him with the air control Viking or the air control tank push, he will be able to just surround me while having combat shield, and then I just can't really do anything against it. Sucks for me that this is scouted, because this was going to be my big surprise. He doesn't have turrets yet. Now he will sadly have turrets. So this is a little bit unfortunate. Hope he isn't near that. If he kills that, we're just going to be in a massive amount of trouble. I will be able to deny this base, however, which is great. Let's see if I can actually get the tech lab. I do have enough Banshees to just deny everything here. Let's see. Get a reactor as well. This does look like a pretty good build for us. I'm just scared that my third is about to die. Yeah, it is actually going to die here. And that is going to put us massively behind. Sadly, he does have a turret, I guess. Yeah, he does. Oh, wait, actually, he didn't stim on top of it. I think he might have misclicked there. Okay, I thought we were about to be screwed. But he didn't really commit to that base, which is fantastic. We're going to be able to deny his base instead. And these Banshees are doing so much work. I think his counter was so cool. But my strategy, the mind game, actually worked out perfectly, guys. You saw exactly what I was talking about. I was selling the air control tank push. But then I actually went for speed Banshees. He wasn't really prepared. Didn't have anything at home. And now I'm actually finding myself in a spot where I'm ahead, which is just insane to think about. There we go. Now, what is the next step here? It's definitely not over by any means, but we've made a fantastic start. The medevacs are kind of getting owned here. I'm sieging my tank in range. And remember, guys, my army is air units. Like, these tanks are great, but we have actually done it. What an incredible victory. I can't believe the sequence here. My mind was blown by both him and my own mind game. I think my mind game, combined with his cool response, gave us the win, because the Banshees were unexpected. We did so much damage. He had to go for a desperate drop because he has no third base. And I have a fully saturated third base. Didn't work out because I had enough at home. And just like that, we have dominated. A top 16 European player with a Sky Terran build. 3 starport. I was going to add 2 more. I'm going to applaud for myself here, because this is by far the highest opponent Sky Terran has beaten. Obviously, we did make tanks and cyclones. Didn't even really look like we needed them this game, but let's keep our heads straight. We still have a game to win. Let's go for game number 2. Game number 2 on Moondance. Challenge is going to be Raven Hellion for this one, and I feel like I might have gotten lucky on this roll. Not because I think Raven Hellion is necessarily so great against Terran, but Ravens, think about it, take extra starports. Our build might look very similar to him, to what we did last game, but we're actually going to go for a different strategy, which is overwhelming him with auto turrets, harassment mostly, try to kill workers, and I don't exactly know how I'm going to make this more legit, like I said, that I did in a challenge, but I do think the mind game could have a fantastic effect here. Now, the first thing I would think of is that maybe in this challenge, I would also allow myself to make some tanks instead of just Hellions, because else you kind of die to Marauders, to put it frankly. So I might want to add some tanks here too. But besides that, besides a very limited amount of tanks, I'm going to be trying to just play pure Raven Hellion and hope it works out perfectly. Now, I am going to do a Reaper expand. Always going to be a little bit risky, but if we get away with it, it's just going to be perfect with our build. So I think it just makes sense for me to do it here. Gonna scout, obviously. This map is also a lot smaller than the last one. Rush distance is pretty short. So if he does want to attack me, it's gonna hit pretty fast and hard. But if he doesn't, we're gonna have Hellions out on a small map. And remember what I said last game? The map wasn't great for Hellions because it had a ramp. This map, no ramp. You'll be able to have vision and you can reactively decide whether you want to run in or not. And that makes Hellions so much better. He did play Hellions himself last game, but he actually did like no damage at all with it. So he might refrain from doing that this game. I'm gonna try to take this expansion. Let's see what he has up here. Nothing in his base. Ooh. Looks like we're getting... Yeah, this is a proxy Reaper, guys. Okay. And it doesn't have a lot of SCVs. Yeah, we can't go for the Reaper expand in that case. Gonna have to change up the plans. Gonna get a bunker here. And a bunker here. It's a little bit hard to decide the location of these bunkers. But I think this should be good enough. Here we go. He's gonna come in fast. My Reaper's gonna spawn right there, by the way. This is massive for us. We might be able to get that first Reaper. And that could be the end of his proxy Reaper already. Wow, what a fantastic start. That is horrible for him. You cannot afford to lose a first Reaper and proxy Reaper. It's just by far the worst thing that can happen. You might even lose the second one here. I got the advantage on the attack. Okay, he's gonna be able to escape. I didn't think he was gonna go this way, actually. That's well done by him. That was his only way to keep this alive, and he found it. So that is definitely a good job. And now I'm still gonna try to expand. Next mission, figure out when we have to transition, pretty much. Because I don't want to die. Like, let's say he makes 4 more Reapers. I quit making these units now. I could totally still die to it. Especially if it makes more than 4 Reapers, right? And how do we transition into Raven Hellion from here? I think the answer is relatively simple. I'm just going to make a reactor on this. I think I have enough Marines. I only have 1 Marine in here. Excuse me. I don't really think I need any more than that, so that's all good. And I'm just going to be making Hellions from this factory without a reactor. And then when the reactor finishes, we'll swap them over. Now, I still have 1 Reaper alive myself. I could use that to try and get a scout off, see exactly what his timings are. If he's going for Mag Field, for example, is a pretty big catch as well. Now, what he's going to do here is he's going to be trying to steal my reactors. I'm going to be a bit YOLO and salvage these bunkers already. Just so I can actually use the extra money here. You see, I'm making Hellions. He knows I want to switch it. I don't see anything in his base, actually. That's a little bit surprising. Gonna kill that SCV. Oh, we're actually getting full-on cheesed here. Ooh, that could be rough here, guys. What am I gonna do against that? Let's see. Oh no, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that sucks. I think I was using my brain a little bit too much there. You never want to do that in StarCraft, guys. Use your brain an appropriate amount. I think there's only one thing to do here, and that is just instantly go for it. We cannot defend this with Hellions otherwise. And now I can get an attack on these Reapers really fast. Target fire has to be good. I don't think I can defeat this if I just wait it out, though. Let's go for these Reapers as well. Want to do as much damage to the tanks as possible. These Vikings are going to do an incredible amount of damage to my SCVs, though. Let's try to maximize the splash here. We do have a really good set of units here. Let's switch these as well. We're going to be able to kill that siege tank. Tank is going to die. I don't have a lot of SCVs left myself, unfortunately. Let's see, I think I'm just going to have to camp this, switch these add-ons. You should probably come back here. And he believes the game is over. Let's see what was in production. Yeah, he had 1 tank finishing. The tank was going to die instantly. I actually thought it was 2 Vikings that were about to pop out because they built faster than siege tanks. But it was just the 1 tank. We actually did beat it. If he realized we were making Hellions and Ravens, which he could have, because he scouted with the barracks, he could have taken it a bit more easy, wait for 2 tanks, perhaps make a bunker here. I don't think there's much we can do against it, to be honest. His strategy 100% could have worked, but we were lucky. Remember, we killed the first Reaper. I do have to say, this strategy is really cool, by the way. Proxy Reaper into Tank Viking. I might actually steal that at some point. That is awesome. But for now, we won our match. I think our next match is going to be against HeroMarine, one of the absolute best players in Europe. Usually second Terran in Europe behind Clem. Usually can find him in the top 4 in the DreamHack European Regional. An absolutely insane challenge. As always, we end up with those in the ESL Cups. Let's do it. First game is on Data C, and we once again have drawn Raven Hellion. Now in the last game, we didn't really get to use our Ravens and Hellions. Well, I used the Hellions to great effect, but I didn't really get to use the Ravens, so here we go. Now, like I said, this is going to be an insanely difficult opponent. This would even be, super hard to win playing my absolute best builds. But we're going to see. Who knows, guys? Sometimes you just vibe out and you get a little lucky. We'll see what's going on. Now, I do have to admit, I haven't watched too many of his games recently, so I actually don't know how he plays TVT. I'll be honest, guys, I'm a little bit guilty of not being a huge fan of watching TVT. So usually when there's TVT happening on pro tournaments, I do tend to kind of skip them. Just like a lot of people that don't play Terran, actually. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think it's actually alright to play, but watching it, not really my vibe. So as a result of that, I also do not really have an idea how he plays. Once upon a time, I want to say maybe, 2017, 2018 or so, I found HeroMarine a very comfortable opponent because he was basically a standard player, no matter what. He would always play standard. You know what you would expect. He wouldn't try anything YOLO, but then at some point he evolved. I think this was maybe 2019. It was pretty close after. I think it was the start of the ESL Cups. Not sure if that's 2019 or 2020. But then he started doing like a lot of different builds. He started YOLOing it a bit more. And I also found him a lot more difficult to play against after that. So at this point, I assume since it was so successful, he still plays like that, and he has a ton of different builds, and I won't be able to predict what he's gonna do. So I'm not gonna try. I will just do my best to scout and then play my own, strategies. I mean, as far, I'm pretty limited, of course, when I have to play Raven Hellion, but I'm gonna try to play my own strategies here, of course. Now, most likely he's gonna play double gas. I think he usually plays pretty safe. Yeah, there you go. It is indeed a double gas. And he's going to scout my Reaper Expand. I don't think there's really much he can do about it. It's a pretty big map. Shouldn't be able to punish me, really. So I guess we'll figure out. Unless it's a 2x Reaper. But I think it's pretty clearly just a regular double gas with a factory. So that's nice for us. We also have a little bit of a ramp going on here. So that's going to make it a little bit safer. Now I need to pay attention to this SCV. Is this one going to come back? I'm actually gonna be a little bit smart. Yeah, I knew it, you see. I went back there because very often what they do is they'll keep their SCV close so they can use their SCV with the Reaper against yours. Because if you Reaper expand, you lose the Reaper, game ends just like that. That is just TVT. I'm not exaggerating. If I would lose this Reaper, the game would end immediately. So that's why I'm keeping my SCV here as well. Basically being even with him. And making sure I don't actually lose it. Really like that little trick I did just to make sure he was actually going away with the SCV, which he wasn't. By now he could have returned it already, but why would we not be safe? I think Reaper Expand is typically about 4 SCVs up, so there's absolutely no reason for me to risk this lead. Just to, lose one Reaper, I guess, to his. Now, my starport is starting already. My Hellions are starting, so I feel pretty comfortable here. This is always going to do a little bit of damage. No, it's not going to do a crazy amount of damage anyway. That's a little bit annoying. Oh, actually, that was really good here. I forced him to target my Reaper, which is a mistake in this case. And I'm not going to lose as many SCVs as I probably should. Can I get 1 kill? There we go. All right, beautiful. Really nothing wrong with that defense. Like I said, it's a pretty big map. It's pretty hard to punish stuff here. And that's what happened there. He tried to punish me for Reaper expanding. I mean, he did a little bit of damage. It was pretty good in the end. SCVs are more important than Reapers in this matchup. But even then, I survived pretty nicely. So now what can I do to adapt this build so it's able to beat HeroMarine? That's what I'm wondering about. It's a question I do not really have an answer to yet, because I don't know if it's possible to beat someone like HeroMarine with mass Ravens, but there must be a way to make it possible, to make it closer, to make it competitive. And just like I said in the last game, it might be just to make siege tanks as well. Now let me jump in with the Reaper, let's see what he has. I mean, I don't expect to see anything crazy here. Oh, he's going for a medevac. That is really good to know, and also very unpleasant, because medevac drops are super good against Hellion play. And I guess maybe since he saw I was playing a gas first opener, he realized I was going to go for Hellions. It could have been anything else, but I think he does know that I like Hellion play. Even though I haven't competed in a while, he probably still remembers that. And that's why I'm going for a counterattack here. Oh, I'm actually going to get a Cyclone here. That is super nice. He's not going to be able to save that unless his medevac is here. There we go. And I'm going to be able to get some workers here, perhaps. I think he was maybe... it looks like he was expecting some kind of Liberator play, perhaps. And we're going to be able to kill a lot of workers here. Now, if I don't get absolutely owned at home by the drop, we're going to be pretty fine here. Now, he does have a pretty big army. I don't think I can really defend that yet. I'm going to need my second Raven, which I'm not going to get. But I can pretend to freeze the tank. Oh, it worked. There you go. Oh, that was actually a really sick move as well. But I'm kind of playing pretty well this game, you know. This is not bad. And now I can freeze it because it was in the animation. Kill as many of these units as I can. Let's see if I can kill them all. It's going to be pretty close here. I'm going to drop an auto turret. That's going to take care of the siege tank. Make sure to target those units in the back. And there we go. We have defended successfully. And we are ahead in some ways. But keep in mind, when the medevac is alive, he is going to be able to do more and more damage over and over. And I don't have anti-air. I think that's what I should change here. I need to make a few Marines. Oh, need to back these off. I need to make a few Marines. So I can actually deal with the Vikings and stuff. Let's get some auto repair going on here. Yeah, I did tell you guys. The freaking medevac drops are super good against this style. And that is what's so tough about this one. Now, I think we're just going to have to go all together. I don't really have a great answer. I don't have any energy on these, actually, so that's going to be a little bit rough. Let me try to drop them there. My SCVs were all derping. That's actually very unfortunate. They were trying to repair. I need to get them off the repair as soon as possible. Maybe I have another turret here soon. Doesn't look like I'll have one, and that is going to be it for game number 1. Yeah, I do think the medevac drop is just a little bit too strong against the Raven Hellion play. I really think... this was a good game by me. Like, honestly, I'm not sad about this game at all. I think I made the right move. The defense at the start was really good. The Hellion micro was good. The defense here was good. But I do think his strategy might be a little bit too unbeatable for the way I did this. So I think if I see the medevac next time to adapt it a little bit more to pro play, I will just switch to a tank instantly. I won't try to only make tanks in the late game. I'll make a tank right away. Anyway, that was it for game number 1. He played, yeah, very well. He actually did make some mistakes, which makes me a little bit more confident, but it's going to be really hard to make it happen with these challenges. But let's go for game number 2. Game number 2 on Moondance. Now, I do have to admit there's some pretty sick coincidence in the rolling, but I have gotten Sky Terran again. So I think we pretty much got the exact same challenges we got against MilkiCow. Now, I kind of wish I got Sky Terran on the last map. That would have been a little bit stronger. If you look at the maps, we basically switched the maps for the challenges. And I think that's going to make it a lot harder. Because Sky Terran on this map is going to be very easy to drop me. It's going to be very easy to attack me early on. And just like I mentioned at the start of the last game, HeroMarine does do these weird early game attacks now. He does YOLO a bit more. And that does tend to be the weakness of a lot of my challenges. So, a little bit nervous for how this one's going to play out. But we'll see. I think I'm going to try to open normally. Judging from the last game, I'm not sure if he knows I'm doing challenges. Because in the end, let's say he thinks that my build was just a bit rough and I didn't believe I could switch out of Hellion, so I kept making them. It's possible that he believes that I was just going to go for a double star per play, right? There's a chance he knows I'm doing challenges, but maybe he doesn't. So I'm just going to try to make it look as normal as possible at the start. Maybe I'll go for 2 Reaper, 1 Cyclone, kind of like my Ghost or Grandmaster's build. 2 Reapers, 2 Cyclones rather, and then go into Sky Terran. And maybe we get lucky enough, just like the game against Milky. I do think it's going to be harder against HeroMarine, because HeroMarine does follow the rules a little bit more when it comes to the late game transition. So MilkiCow tried his own really cool style, going for the trio axe, which was a really cool idea. I love that. But HeroMarine is more likely to just go for the air control himself and smash it. So we'll see, guys. I'm not going to make any assumptions yet. I know it's going to be hard, and I know all we can do is do our best. So here we go. Now let's see what he's up to. I can only imagine that it's also a double gas here. Probably just another mirror build if I had to guess. Let's go. Let's get a double gas. Factory's gonna pop down now. Actually blocking it a little bit. It's kind of funny. Hello? Okay, there we go back. Did we actually block it that long? I thought he was just maybe like putting it down somewhere else. Oh, I did keep my SCV around for a little bit too long. I should have left. I was enjoying my blocking success a little bit too much there. I might pay for it with my SCV's life. That would be a little bit unfortunate if the poor worker is gonna die because of one of my mistakes. I mean, I guess that's kind of what StarCraft is, right? So they're the ones who signed up for this. Oh, can we get faster? We are a little bit faster. I'm gonna dodge this though. Oh, I took one more hit for some reason. That's pretty crazy. Guess I'll just do this. Just trying to buy some time here, really. I don't have to make the command center yet, so it's all good. I'm just gonna wait for my second Reaper to come out, and that's it. Not gonna be any problem whatsoever. As you can see, the minerals are gonna work out perfectly fine. And there we go. Gonna be able to kill that. I'm not sure if he saw the fact that I was making a tech lab on this. If he saw that, that'd be a pretty big tell. So really hope it wasn't the case. So let's go for the Cyclone. And then I'm gonna go for the Starport right away. Followed by a supply depot to not get supply blocked after the Cyclone. Now, depending on his build, let's see if we can actually get in. There we go. That's pretty nice. Maybe we can get the Starport SCV. There we go. That's a pretty good snipe. Maybe not gonna lose any if I micro well. Oh, that Reaper. That was actually a little bit unfortunate. The Reaper jump, or the Reaper grenade was aimed well, but it actually put the heli in forward instead of backwards. Should have put it just like a little bit further, and then it would have been perfect. But in the end, we got an SCV, we got the scout off, which is nice. Saw that he was still making units, no add-ons on those buildings whatsoever. So that is actually a pretty good scout. Now, he can also return the favor by jumping into main base now. So I do need to be aware of that. Okay, so he's gonna go for the YOLO here. Interesting tactic, actually. Probably gonna kill a bunch more units here. Okay, he's actually just trading every single unit for every single SCV. Maybe I can block it, actually. Oh, the micro! No! I wish I got rewarded for that. That would have been beautiful if I actually did. Alright, so we're gonna have to play this game from massively behind. I didn't think I was gonna lose that many SCVs. Now, considering it's TVT, we're gonna be like 5 or 6 SCVs down, which is usually game over. But I'm still gonna try my best. I need to send a few more SCVs here. I need those gases. I'm literally nothing without the gases. That is the problem here. Let's try to build this gas. Okay, I think he has a tank, most likely. Else he wouldn't be out here so far. He did kill one of my Reapers. And then I guess I'm just gonna make a Starport here instantly. And maybe we can once again get in with the same mind game if he scans or decides to scout or whatever. Let's see, there's actually nothing here. Oh, so maybe he didn't go for a tank. Maybe he went for 2 Cyclones himself. That's definitely possible. Let's turn some mules. Yeah, I'm worried that we're just a little bit too far behind economically here. And we can't press too much, because if he gets a tank, he would just kill our, you know, our Cyclones, and that really sucks. So, can't really get away with that. Now I'm gonna start making my Banshee speed, sending this Raven across. Gonna use my own Cyclones to defend here. I do have a nice back base I can take. That's gonna make it feel a little bit safer. And then I think we're just gonna straight up go for it. You know, start making double Banshees. Hope that somehow he gets like mind gamed without having scouted. That would be quite something. I don't think that's really possible, to be honest. But in that case, he would have to mind game himself, right? Which is rough. But yeah, we're pretty far behind in terms of economy. I do think we've killed a decent amount of units, so that could be our saving grace. Let's start with an innocent little auto turret here. Could be nice. Might have a tank there. Still gonna kill 2 SCVs though, which is nice. Oh, actually he had Marines. Okay. A tank barely doesn't two-shot it, by the way. That's why I thought we were gonna get 2. Only get 1. That does suck a little bit, but it is what it is. Now, he does have a Raven of his own. That's already more than MilkiCow had, I think. I don't think MilkiCow even had a Raven. So I'm gonna start making siege tanks here. I'm a little bit greedier than in my game against MilkiCow as well. That could be a little bit of a problem. Now, I'm gonna get 4 Banshees and then do pretty much the exact same move I made before. Launch as many mules as possible. I'm actually struggling a little bit because I want to keep this Cyclone on his side of the map. But I'm a bit worried that he's hiding a Banshee. They do that sometimes where they pretty much hide a Banshee in the corner of the map. And then they send it in at some point. Now, he's gonna see I'm making mass Banshees. This is a tough moment right here. He could decide to attack me and most likely kill me, or he could decide to stay back and go for... Yeah, okay, that's, you know, pretty clear answer here, I want to say. Let me drop an auto turret. Oh, I failed to drop that auto turret, actually. Yeah, he's gonna try and kill me. Most likely he's gonna succeed, but maybe we can do some insane counter damage with, you know, my 4 I mean, it is 4 Banshees. It's really not that bad. I think it's all gonna come online a little bit too late, though. Definitely looking a little bit rough here. Let's see what we can kill. Okay, so he's gonna siege me slowly. Looks like. Maybe I can... Okay. I mean, I do have this back base, so I can actually fall back there. I imagine he probably made turrets to be ready for this. Or maybe I can target that if it's not in time. Oh, no, we can't. That's unfortunate. That definitely out-repairs it. Gonna have to lift this off, try to go into the main base. Sucks that I lost one of these already. Does he have a turret here? He does. I did kill... No, I can't lose the siege tank. Okay, he's gonna go for the interference matrix. There we go. I unsieged it just in time. He dropped all of his auto turrets, which might mean that I could come back from this. At least from this little initial lost skirmish. I lost that one over there. Now he does have enough Vikings in place. Let me try to... How many Vikings am I building? 4. I think I have one more shot at this. It's not looking pretty, but one more shot is one more shot, so I'm gonna try to use it. So my Banshees are gonna come back. I will be able to go for the siege tanks here, which is nice. There we go. And that is gonna be pretty sick. Maybe I can escape with these if he miss micros. That would be fantastic. There we go. Oh my... They were in hold position. That is rough. Doesn't look like I have anything left though. And there we go. This is kind of what I'm talking about when I say early games should be rough for my challenges. Now you guys can finally see it in action. If your opponent is good, this is just what it looks like, right? So there we go. GG. Well played to him. As you can see, 88 supply. Has the third saturated. Now this game... Once again, it was really just lost with the first attack. Like, after those first Reapers and Hellions attacked my base, I must have been pretty far down in workers. Let's see what it is. 26 against 22. With my CC delayed, with my gas delayed, you see his orbitals already starting. You just don't come back from that. And that is what a really efficient Terran player looks like. And that's why I'm always so scared doing my challenges. Should I get a bunker? Should I get some extra units? Oh no, he's gonna kill me. This is why. And now you guys saw it in action. I think the first game definitely had some potential if I did the build a little bit different here. I couldn't really tell, just because we died to the first Reaper Hellion attack, really. If this didn't happen, we would have had a definitely way better shot, and then we could have actually seen if Sky Terran is possible. Anyways, I still hope you guys really enjoyed this. We went from a miracle victory over a top 16 player to a pretty crushing defeat against an even better player, but that's okay. If you guys enjoyed it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you want to see for next week, and adios.